Hi everyone, welcome to Educon Community Java crash course. So today we will discuss about the Java variables. So basically, what is the variable in Java? So variable is a named memory location that holds the data. Suppose you have one house and inside that you were there. So your house is a variable and you are a value like that. So in Java, every variable has these five things. First one is data type. What kind of data it holds, like integer type or string type or character type. Then the name means the identifier. Then the value means the data stored in it. Then scope, where it's accessible. And lifetime, how long it exists. Then types of variables in Java. So mainly there are three main types of variables. First one is local variable. Then is instance variables and static variables. So instance variables is also known as the non-static variables and static variables are also known as the class variables. So local variables means which will be declared in a method, constructor, or a block, and accessible only within that block where declared and must be initialized before use. So suppose this local variable example is like a class, inside that show is a method, and inside that int count equals to 10. So this count variable is in your method show. So that's why this count is a local variable. So we are printing here count is count. So this 10 will be printed like count is 10. Next is instance variable. So declared inside a class but outside the methods and it belong to an instance of a class. Each object gets its own copy and default value is 0, null or false if not initialized. So like here instance for example is a class int age equals to 25 which is inside your class but outside of your method display. So this int age 25, this is your instance variable and we are printing age is plus age, this is. So one thing, you can access this local variable inside this show method only. Outside of this show method, you will not able to access this. Okay. But instance variable, you can access this instance variable inside your methods also. Right. Next is your static variables. So declared with the keyword static and shared across all objects of the class. Single copy stored in static memory and initialized only once when the class is loaded. So your static var example is your class. Inside it with the static keyword, I have declared it int count equals to 0. And then inside that static var example method, we are doing the count plus plus and we are printing this count. So as we are declared it with the static keyword, so that's why it is static variable. So this is basically shared across all these objects of the class, but single copy, right? So what is the variable declaration syntax? So one data type will be there, variable name is there, and then value. Suppose int name equals to 100. So your int is data type, name is your variable, and 100 is your value. So next your Java data types. So Java data types are like byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. These eight are Java data types, right? Now size. So for byte, the size is 1 byte. Default value is 0. Example like byte b equals to 10. Next sort, it will take 2 bytes in memory. Default value is 0. Sort s equals to 1000. Next is int 4 bytes. Default like size is 4 bytes. Default value is 0. Int I equals to 50,000. This is one example. And long, this is 8 bytes. We will declare it as 0L. This is the default value. And long L equals to 1 lakh L. We have declared like that only. So these first four, like byte, short, and long, these four are numeric data type. Okay. Next is decimal data type. So one thing need to know. that by default, when you will take the value with the decimal, then it will be by default double data type. Okay, but like if you will do like float f equals to 10.5, not f, then it will give you error. Okay, so when you will take the decimal value as suppose 10.5, by default its type is default, like default type is double. Okay, so you can consider that the double d equals to 10.5. But when you want to do with the float, then you need to add this f after your value. So its default value is 0.0f, but for double, the default value is 0.0. Okay, so int is 4 bytes. In the same way, float is your 4 bytes. Long is 8 bytes, and the same way, double is 8 bytes. Remember it. And sort is 2 bytes. Here, char is again 2 bytes, and boolean is 1 bit. Okay, so by default, it's false. So 1 byte means 8 bits, and this boolean is 1 bit only. So true and false are there. Like boolean b equals to true. So in this way, we will declare the Java data types in the variable. Okay. Now scope of the variables. So local scope is inside the method or block. Instance is inside a class but outside any method. Okay. And static scope shared among all objects of the class. Right. So here I have given you the example as well. Okay. Okay. So these are the scopes. Okay, remember local scope is inside the method or block. Inside scope is inside instance scope is inside a class but outside any method, and static scope is shared among all the objects of the class. Next is variable naming rules. So must begin with a letter or dollar or underscore. Cannot use reserved words. Then case sensitive, like capital Age and small age are different, right? Then memory allocation of variables. Local variable will be stored in the stack memory. Instance will be in the heap memory. Static will be in the method area. Okay. Now example, suppose public class variable demo, then static variable I have declared, then instance variable I have declared, and then this show variables, then int local var equals to 20, this local variable. Now system.out.println local variable I am printing, instance variable I am printing, and static variable also. Okay, and in the main method I have created the object as well, and here this obj dot show variables method we have called, then these things will be printed, right? Next, common errors, what we do, like uninitialized local variables like int x, we have not kept any value for this variable, and we are printing this x, it will give you the compilation error. Next is redeclaring the variables. So first of all, we have declared this int a equals to 10. Next again int a equals to 20. Then error that variable a is already defined. So these are the common topics from the variables. If you hold these type of concepts, then you any questions from this topic you will be covered. Okay. So if you have any other questions, then also you can comment down. So next we will make some next topics about the Java. Till then, stay tuned. Good luck and do like, share, and subscribe for giving me motivations. Bye, all.